Yo, boys, back with another video. I've actually recorded this 3 times. I did it two times last night, but I kept messing up. The first time I didn't record right. The second time I had my mic muted. This ain't looking good. But regardless, we finally are getting this recorded, and it is 5 p.m. So usually I do it at night or like super late at night. I usually do it like 5 a.m. in the morning or somewhere around there. But we're doing it at 5 p.m. this time. And as you can see, we're on the good old-fashioned boomy. So this game, I'm pretty sure, is our 2400 or it's our 2450. It's one of the two, and then I have another one tomorrow that's gonna be for the 2500. And I'm trying to get to around 2600 before they nerf the moon build because that's what they're going to be doing. They're going to be nerfing the crit on the moon. You're not going to get like the after effect of it or something to where it's not going to crit. I don't really know what all they're doing, but I know it's getting a nerf. So before they do nerf it, I want to try to get as much as I can, get as high as I can before it's broken again. And honestly, it's not even that broken. I wish it was more broken because, like, I don't know, the moon build just doesn't seem that fun to me. I think I'd rather play a different build because, like, instead of mooning, you could be doing so many other things, and the moon just doesn't do as much damage as people think it does. Like, if you, like, unless you don't use anything and you're like a Windwalker or a DH, and I have every single CD up, like, as you can see, I'm kind of just pre-hog cycloning everybody because they don't, their kicks are just really bad. But as you can see, I full moon here, and it didn't even get through his karma. So I did two full moons, and it couldn't even get through his karma, which is like the weakest cooldown in the game. So like it's not even that good, but I end up seeing that he gets the rep, so I end up I stopped bleeding him. I know I didn't want to cyclone him there because it was DR'd, and all you're doing when you fake cast is pretty much it's muscle memory. Wherever they kick the first time, they're gonna be kicking there almost every time. So like this Windwalker almost kicks me at like 20%. So wherever they kick me the first time, you wanna like fake cast them right beforehand. And when you're facing an 100, ladies and gentlemen, you need to make sure you cyclone the pit first and then Rubeam. Now, I wasn't paying attention to that, but while I was recording this over again. So here, as you can see, I'm trying to fake cast him, but he ends up not having kick up, so I thought the hunter would have gotten it, but I guess he didn't have it either. So I guess I'm too busy on fake casting when they don't even have kick. So yeah, pretty much as you can see, I'm trying to fake cast him when I get those cyclones. You're trying to cyclone off DR, and pretty much that's just all you're doing is cycloning. He ends up getting the good old-fashioned Kiek, and all I'm doing is bleeding. You're gonna be popping stars off. You're gonna be using those off CD. Pretty much, I almost end up dying here, but I end up, cycling the monk off me. He gets a wonderful bop here. He ends up trying to purge it, so I end up just running and kiting with my healer. Now, I don't want to stack with him because if I do, the Windwalker's going to stun me, but I end up getting some fat moons here. So the Mid-Sweeper's coming over. He's coming to CC us a little bit. They end up getting a kick into a stun. I'm end up kiting because at this point I'm really in bad territory. I can die easily. I'm gonna root beam. Unfortunately, he's a hunter, so he can get out of every beams unless I cyclone the survival of hunter's pet, and then that solves that problem. But so like anytime you're facing a hunter, now I don't know if BM can I don't know if both of their pets do it or if it's just one of their pets. I'm pretty sure it's one of their pets, but I'll have to figure that out. But yeah, you definitely need to cyclone the pet before you rebeam, even though it's a lot of extra work. Just to click cyclone on the pet. You kind of have to, or else you're never just gonna get a root beam. The Mistweaver's as you can see, the Windwalker's around the corner getting blasted, and he ends up getting destroyed by the time the healer can get around the corner. It was actually a really long game right there. To a Mistweaver is super tough. So I'm kind of saying that SP does negative dam because I was getting focused 90% of the game, and he didn't really do much dam as an SP too. Not it's not like he's playing anything. But then again, I guess the Mistweaver was dispelling off CD, so I guess that gives him that excuse Deontay. But this priest was definitely having a rough time today. I ain't gonna lie about that one. So pretty much, yeah, you just gotta keep a muscle memory of when they kick you, and then kick them, or and then fake cast right before. So usually I just move my character a little bit, as you can see when I fake cast. That's just what I do. We end up getting the double stun here, so we end up getting a really good opener. He ends up sacking him here, so there's no point of going on the priest. I end up getting feared here. He ends up dispelling. Actually, no, it ends up just breaking. But at this point, I'm kind of just pumping. I'm trying to cyclone the good old fashioned. I end up root beaming him. He ends up getting the root beam really late, so he ends up getting it like legit like I don't even know like 3 or 4 seconds late. So it's like really good. I get the full cyclone off this. He ends up running at me. The hunter's popping off in damage. So he ends up trinketing and land handsing in the same global, which is insanely good for us because now we can't bob him or nothing. He ends up steering me, so I can't cyclone him at all because 4 seconds to where none of my buttons will render. And I think it's like 3 buttons. Here I end up DR cycloning him again. I end up getting a full moon. He ends up just fading it, even though technically it was still went off. It didn't really do much damage. I was gonna cyclone him again, but I was like, it's kind of DR'd, so I'll just cyclone the priest low. So I can cyclone the H-bow whenever it's off DR. I actually ended up doing it anyway, which is really bad. I should have just waited the DR. I think that was just terrible cyclone. I should have just waited the 5 seconds, but all well. He ends up sacking, and we ended up getting a good value to cooldown out of it anyway, even though sack's like a minute CD. So, whatever. And you can't really ever kill the hunter here because he can just bandage and feign death all your bleeds off. So here I see I'm going to bash cyclone here, and the hunter can't kick me because he's across the map. I actually think this guy almost dies without using disperse. We'll see what happens. Nope, he doesn't disperse. So yeah, he gets global at 40%, ends up dying, and the Moonwalker I think touches him at low. So we end up getting a dub. This guy said he freed him the root B, but I don't think I saw that. Maybe he did. I didn't see. I see the hunter freedomed it, but he didn't actually pre-freedom the root beam. I personally didn't see that. Maybe he did. Whoa. Oh, I'm very tired. I just woke up. Maybe he did freedom the Rudy B. Maybe I just didn't see it. Oh well. And then the SP doesn't click DCP, so that's kind of unfortunate. But I mean, this is solo shuffle. You can't really expect people even at 2,500 to click buttons. You can't expect it. You have to preemptively know that they're not going to click anything and just do what you got to do. So here I end up popping off here. You always want to have triple bleeds up, so before you're pumping, have all 3 bleeds, because then you get the bonus. The damage bonus is like 10%. It's pretty crazy. And you only get that really when you burst, I'm pretty sure. But you definitely want to have triple bleeds. Now the problem with getting triple bleeds is it's really hard because people just dispel off CD, and there's no consequence to dispelling Boomy's bleeds off. Like there's like an Affliction Warlock, or like a Shadow Priest, or a Ellie Shaman. Like there's no after effect of doing that. So here I'm gonna stay in the line of the Mistweaver so I can cyclone him. So I full cyclone him off that trap. So we get really good CC chains right now because they're not stopping the CZ. The Windwalker ends up swapping to me. I'm trying to kite here. I see them low HP. I'm bear forming. I'm using my heal so I can get topped off. I'm gonna get out of bear form. I'm gonna bleed everybody up. I'm gonna start pumping big full moons. This is really the only time that you're ever gonna get a fully moon off. Now he could freedom my root beam or massy D it, but he ends up not massy doing it, or he can massy D the trap, but he ends up not doing that either. But pretty much, we're getting insanely good CC. The problem is we just don't have the damage to close out a game right now. Because I kind of have to wait until my CDs are back, and that's really the only time I can kill anything. And that's when my full moons actually hit really hard. But I end up cycling the Windwalker so we can kind of just kite for a second. Because at this point we're not in the best spot, but I have CDs in 28 seconds. So if we can just live 28 seconds, I'm going to cyclone. He ends up kicking me. Did my guy land in the trap? No, he didn't. He maybe thought I was in cyclone. I cyclone him right there. So we get a really good cyclone, and we're gonna end up going back on the priest. I end up going big damn judge here. I end up trying to knock him before he gets the fear, but I didn't end up working out. The priest ends up fake casting him, or he just kicked air. I see the Windwalker's popping Serenity, so at this point we need to cyclone the monk. So he bossed me. I'm gonna cyclone him. So I cyclone him all of the CDs. So pretty much stop all the incoming damage. I'm gonna root beam the Mistweaver, and then I'm gonna cyclone off that if I can. We'll see what happens. So I end up popping Nam off, and at this point he needs to die. I'm gonna cyclone the priest on his dispeat. I think he ends up tricketing. Yes, he ends up trinketing on top of disperse. Insane. I end up bashing the Mistweaver. I cyclone the Mistweaver. Full cyclone on the Mistweaver, and I think we almost close out this game. I end up full mooning the priest, and we end up keep pumping. We're just pumping people. There's not much I can do about that one. I knock this guy. I'm gonna cyclone the monk here. He ends up getting me. He ends up getting the good old fashioned kick. I cyclone the monk. I end up, pumping this guy, and I think he just dies here because he just gets the life taken out of him. He got kill shot and he got starred for all of his HP, the way it should be. So yeah, he ends up getting taken out, and there's not much more to it. Not much you can do about that one. But yeah, in this situation, you have to really go SP. Now you can alt tab kill the hunter, but usually you're not gonna kill a Mistweaver with port. It's really rare that you kill a Mistweaver unless it's like, unless he has no port, no trinket, and even then there's an SP on his team, so he's gonna have life swap, he's gonna have grip, he's gonna have MD, he's just gonna have a lot of things that are just. And this is a situation where no matter what, you kind of just have to like root beam the priest, because like if you root beam the Mistweaver, there's just too many outs. So it's like it comes down to like it's kind of just stupid. Like if you cyclone the pet, he can just MD the mass, but they actually don't even end up doing it in the opener. Actually, yes, he does because he can do it across the map. So he ends up doing it from legit across downtown Houston. But oh well. I end up bleeding him up here. I don't know what we're getting here. My monk is like I don't know what he's doing. I think he's just trying to push some damage. But yeah, I don't know what he's doing. I am trying to fake cast Moon, but I guess he doesn't want to kick that this evening, so that's real good. He ends up getting that stun on me. He ends up getting a full trap. I see that, so I'm going to preemptively cyclone the priest. I'm going to back away here because there's no point of pushing in with my healer CC'd. So we're going to pull back, and then we're going to pull back in once our healer's not CC'd. And pretty much, we haven't intervened, which you probably always want to intervene off like CD. Even at the moment they start clicking to him, I usually have a bad habit of like holding it until they really need it. But like, because well, I ended up just dying there, even though he had Bop, Trinket, Bubble, Land Hands. We had every single CD in the game. I'm pretty sure we had probably Sack too. I need to start tracking that. But yeah, we ended up having every CD, and he doesn't use a single one. Now, to be fair, I should have preemptively bear formed at like 60%, but since my healer wasn't CC'd, I didn't think I needed to. But I guess I should have, because I am facing a survival hunter, the most broken burst spec in the game, you know what I'm saying, and an SP. But oh well, it is what it is. We run it back. So in this situation, we're gonna go to Windwalker, and again, you had Cyclone the pet, but obviously I wasn't really paying attention, and I didn't really, I didn't really care. Because, like, CC is really irrelevant when it comes down to when you have Cyclone. So, like, all you need is that 6 seconds of CC every time, and you're pretty much gold. Now, obviously, if I could have got that root EB off, it would have been great. But I don't really plan on it. As you can see, I get the full Cyclone here. And then I'm going to try to root EB off of it. Actually, the Windwalker just, I don't know what he was doing. So I ended up root beaming him. He's going to end up instantly getting my root beam. So yeah, for now on, I'm just going to Cyclone the pets. So then, that stops that. Now, if it's a beam hunter, you can never really root beam the healer, and the only reason you would root beam the healer, so as you can see, I bear form, I use my heal here, I'm gonna run away, I'm trying to kite this monk the best I can, I'm wrathing him so I can get some energy, some astral power. I'm pumping out the dam. He ends up using his cooldown here, I end up fake casting him. I'm trying to cyclone whatever I can cyclone, but he ends up running away, so I don't even need to. He ends up porting back. He ends up getting a good old-fashioned roop. I end up full cycloning him, so we're getting a lot of CC here. So here we end up swapping on the H-Bow. I'm end up trying to CC him. We'll see what happens. He ends up stunning me. I don't have skin. I don't have trinket. My healer gets silenced. And my guy does have grip. I don't know why, but my guy just never uses grip for some reason. Maybe because he saves it for the Mistweaver from when the hunter leaps at him or something. Big damn. So we get pet tag. We get karma right there. My guy's taking the most unhealable dam, but he is an SP, so it's really hard for an SP to die. So at this point, I'm trying to Cyclone again, so I'm trying to fake cast. Nope, he ends up, I end up getting on the hunter here, so they can't heal him. The Windwalker's clicking max dam, so I need to Cyclone him off me, or at least, like, kite him better. But as you can see, we end up kiting his full burst, we end up getting Bubby ill, and pretty much I end up just full mooning here for some big dam. He ends up just lining it. And I end up just using it on the Windwalker here to get some damage in, because it still does deso dam. It just doesn't do enough to where it's like, I'd rather have the shrooms or whatever, like more bleed dam, honestly. I kind of hate using the moon build, because it's like, I hate just standing there and having to use that one ability. It's like, just irritating. I'd rather just use max bleeds and just chill. But our priest almost ends up dying without dispersing. He's kicked right now. He ends up swapping me. He ends up orbing it on top of me, so it was a really good swap. because I was already orbed. But he probably just started disperse. I think he's being super greedy with the one button that's like a minute and a half CD. It's legit the most broken, but I think he ends up deathing this guy around the corner and he ends up taking him out. Or he gets touched. One of the two. But we end up getting another W, and that's all there is to it. Now, I don't know why, but I guess for some reason they haven't buffed the MMR yet because like the highest rated person is like 2,700 or something. And usually by now it would already be like 3K, and you'd still be getting 100 CRs at 2,500 or 2,900. But since the MMR isn't inflated yet, what's happening is, when you're going 5-1 or you're going 4-2, you're only gaining like 20 points instead of gaining like 60 points or 80 points. I don't know why they haven't buffed the MMR in Solo Shuffle. I mean, it's the only thing that you can actually play that's actually fun. I mean, nobody wants to queue Arena, let's be honest. Arena's probably one of the most boring things that WoW has to offer right now. It's just like it's the same two comps over and over again. There's zero variety and there's no rewards for it. Like other than doing threes, but like threes is almost impossible to do because nobody plays threes. So like you're never gonna be able to play just to have fun unless you're already preemptively have a team. And if you don't have a team, then you're out of luck. You can't play the game. So it's like, and twos don't give a reward, RPGs don't give a reward. Like nobody cares about a title. We want some rewards, bro. Like put in like another illusion in, or make a mount for everything. Like it's really not hard. People are really just wanting something to play. But yeah, twos just ain't it for me because you don't get any rewards. And then threes, I can't really play them unless like I'm playing my healer and I'm playing with just some friends because otherwise, there's just nothing we can do. There's nothing we can play. So I end up trying to cyclone him here on his DCP. He ends up shrinking it again on top of his DCP, which is disgusting. The fact that my bad, I accidentally like hit my mic, but he ends up shrinking my cyclone for the second round in a row for no reason, which nothing was happening. And that's why, because as a priest, using your trinket is like the worst thing you can do if it's on something worthless. Because like you die really quick, and you have to have really fast reaction time. So like, for example, he would have had trinket swap. Now he doesn't have that. Now he only has swap. But guess what? If he's stunned, he's just gonna die in about 3 seconds. Because a bad SP will never live. Bad SPs just can't survive. And honestly, if he gives him freedom, he could just kite us. He could just play like a warlock, to where he's always moving around his character. He needs to cast a little bit and then move his character. Like you can't just tank the damage. Even though you're an SP and SPs are broken, you kind of just can't tank the damage. Yeah, see, as you can see now he's kiting. That's how you should play as an SP. You should be kiting the DPS and then healing yourself whenever your healer CC'd. See, that's good positioning by the SP right there. See, I give credit when credit's due. So at this point, all I need to do is cyclone the H-Power off the ER, and we pretty much win. At this point, there's not much he can do. So he ends up full stunning here, and, I can root beam this. We'll see what happens. So I saw full cyclone, and I'm going to Rudy B. So I full root beam him, and we end up getting DCB. So already he has disperse back again. That's why holding your disperse is kind of just dumb, because it's such a short amount of CD, and it's like you have so many other CDs to keep you alive. But at this point, all we have to do is cyclone the H-Foul off this sack, and it's pretty much GG's. I thought the H-Foul was going to kick me, but he ends up never using that button. So all I have to do here is fake cast, cyclone. I'm going to cyclone the H-Foul off the trap, and we pretty much just win the game. So I cyclone him off the trap. I'm trying to so we can get the W. Cycloning, and we end up winning the game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, peace.